So here's the big question. How are entrepreneurs like us, who have been hustling and struggling to make it to success, who seem to make it one step forward only to fall two steps back, who are dedicated, determined, and driven, how do we finally break through and win? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brian Kelly, and this is the Mind, Body, Business Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mind, Body, Business Show. I say this each and every week, and once again, we have a stellar guest expert lined up for you this evening. I cannot wait to share her brilliance with you. Real quick, before we do that, the Mind, Body, Business Show, it is about what I call the three pillars of success. In my now 56 years on this planet, I spent the last 10 or so studying just successful people. Wanted to find out what was it about them that made them more successful than, say, me. And what were those things? I mean, they're human beings. They put their pants on one leg at a time if they wear pants. We were just talking about that before we came on the air. That's a story for another day. And, they're just people. And they're human beings. What is so special? How do they achieve success? And so in that trek of trying to find out and studying only successful people, I found that there were three patterns that kept developing. And you might guess what those are. They happen to be the name of this very show. So mind is mindset. And that is every successful person that I studied had a rock solid, very positive, and the most important part, flexible mindset. And then there was body. To a person, these successful people took care of themselves, both physically on the outside and nutritionally on the inside, whatever they were eating or drinking. And then business. Business is multifaceted. It includes things like systematizing, team building, sales, leadership, marketing. The list goes on and on and on. And these very successful people had mastered all the skill sets required to build, maintain, and continue to elevate a successful business. The good news is you don't have to personally master every one of these skill sets. That is how they did it, because no one human being, in my humble opinion, could master every skill set that goes into building a business. And what they did was they mastered just one of those skill sets that I mentioned. And that one is, do you know what it is? It's leadership. So once you've mastered the skill set of leadership, you are then more apt to be able to build a team and scale your business. Build a team with those who have the skill sets you have yet to master, or that you just flat out don't want to. Because let's face it, business, there are a lot of things in business that we don't want to do and that we're not good at. And those are the things you should outsource. And that's another topic. Maybe we'll talk about it tonight. Who knows? We're just going to have fun. See what Lois Koffi has in store for us this evening. I cannot wait. And another remarkable thing about very successful people is they are also very voracious readers of books. And with that, I like to segue over into a segment I affectionately call Bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by reachyourpeaklibrary.com.
Yes, there you see reachyourpeaklibrary.com. Now, that is a website I had built with you, for you, and with you in mind, and for you, the entrepreneur, the business person, no matter what level of success you are at. This is a one-stop shop where you can go and find a collection of books that have been vetted by at least someone else who's achieved success. And that way you're not guessing. You're not wasting time just throwing darts at a dartboard with a blindfold on, hoping you hit a good book. And that is what this is for. Before we go any farther, I wanted to make a special note. Reachyourpeaklibrary.com. Write that down on a piece of paper. You remember those, right? Those old things, those parchments that were called paper, and get out a pen or a pencil, some kind of writing instrument, or put it on your notepad on your computer, whatever works best for you. And I say that to instill upon you to do that instead of clicking away or going off into another tab on your browser and typing in these resources, because I'm here to tell you every single show, and this one will be no different, there are going to be a lot of resources that you're going to be given. And so the best thing for you to do is to write all of these resources down and visit them later. Why do I say that? Because the magic happens in the room right here. Yes, it's a virtual room, but if you were to take your gaze away and your attention and you're off typing in another URL and looking at a website while this is going on, you could miss that one nugget, that one nugget that Miss Koffi has for you tonight that could change your life forever. And I will tell you right now, I already know she has one. We had a talk right before we came on the show. She has something that every single business person on the planet needs. She has a talent. And just as a little tease, she's going to be given a gift tonight. And it is that very one thing I'm talking about. So stick with us, stay on the show. Don't click away, take notes. I take notes too, and I'm running this whole thing. So I never asked you to do anything I wouldn't do. Reach Your Peak Library a little bit more in depth, and then we'll move into the main segment of the show. But here you see it is just a collection of books that I personally have read. It's not every book that I have read since the beginning has made this list. This is the best of the best, the creme de la creme, as they say. And I'm actually a little bit behind because I've begun reading only about 7 years ago or so because of a mentor of mine who showed me the importance of it, not just by him reading books, but what it did for him, you know, the results that it gave him. And oh my goodness, I'm here to tell you, this is like one of the easiest ways to achieve greater success in your life is to just get in the habit of reading books. So please, I implore upon you, go to this, reachyourpeaklibrary.com, go to Audible. But if you go here, you can get a vetted set of books. Pick the first one that jumps out on the page. You don't need to analyze every single one. Just, you know, ready, fire, aim. Let's go. Take action. Get the first book that jumps off the page, read it, and then move on to another one after that. All right, that's enough of that. We're going to bring on a very, very special person. This is an amazing woman. I can't wait for you to meet her. Let's bring her on, shall we?
It's time for the Guest Expert Spotlight. Savvy, skillful, professional, adept, trained, big league, qualified.
And there she is, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Coach Lois Koffi.
Yay! Yay! The crowd goes wild. Thank you so much, Brian. Oh my gosh, we're going to have so much fun. I can't wait.
It's so interesting to me, Lois. You and I have never literally talked to each other. We've only emailed back and forth. I don't think we've ever had a conversation before until about a half hour before this show went live. And it's so interesting to me that so often, almost every single time, I feel an instant connection with that person. And I did with you. Like, we've been long lost friends for a long time. You know, we're just like, your smile. I love your sense. You have a sense of humor. You're easygoing. You're very, very brilliant and intelligent. And you just have all those qualities in a person that I love to be associated with. So I appreciate you for spending your time to come on, you know, and share your brilliance and your value with every one of our watchers and our listeners on this show.
Thank you. It's a privilege. And you know, birds of a feather flock together. You know, Jenny Harkle-Road referred me to you. And
yes, Jenny.
Amazing as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. And real quick, I want to mention a few things, a little bit of housekeeping here, Lois, before I properly introduce you with the respect that you deserve. I wanted to mention real quick to everyone who's watching to stay on to the end, because you see it right there in the bottom. Stay with us live to the very end, and you will get a chance to win a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort. Compliments of our wonderful sponsors. Up there, you see them if you're watching the video in the upper right of your screen. That is the Big Insider Secrets. They are at thebiginsidersecrets.com. As Jason Nass, my good buddy, and his company. So definitely do that. And real quick, a couple of other sponsors we're going to announce here in just a second. Here we go. Now, if you're struggling with putting a live show together and it's maybe overwhelming and you want a lot of the process done for you while still being able to put on a high quality show and connect with great people and grow your business all at the same time, then go ahead and head on over to carpetbombmarketing.com. Carpet Bomb Marketing, saturate the marketplace with your message. And one more, one of the key components that is contained in that Carpet Bomb Marketing course is that it's one that you'll learn how to absolutely master. And that is the very service we use to stream our live shows right here on the Mind Body Business Show. And that is, as you can see on the screen, is StreamYard. And over the course of the past 9 years, we've tried many quote unquote TV studio solutions for live streaming. And I'll tell you, StreamYard is the best of the best. It combines supreme ease of use along with unmatched functionality. Start streaming high quality, professional looking live shows for free with StreamYard now. Visit the website you see on the screen. It is ryp.im/streamlive. RYP stands for Reach Your Peak. .im/streamlive. Now we can get to the woman of the hour. There she is again, Coach Lois. And we're going to give her the wonderful respect she deserves and give her a proper introduction. Here we go. Lois Koffi is one of a few hundred certified 12-week year trainers. That's amazing. That's a book. I didn't know this before we came on. I'm just peeling back the curtain. But I can tell you, having gone through similar things, that when you get certified, that's quite an undertaking to get that. And she's just one of a few hundred. So that tells you she is up there, the creme de la creme, as I said before, in the world, one of a few hundred in the world. As a recovering workaholic who has worked from home for the last 13 years, she has excelled in setting and keeping healthy boundaries, learned how to say no. Oh, we all need to know that. And make more money in less time by mastering the principles she teaches her clients. There's one thing I love about her already. She doesn't just talk the talk, she walks the walk, right? And then she teaches it. She only teaches what she has successfully implemented herself. She lives in Southern California with her family while growing a global business, has a podcast, and loves helping her clients create 6 figures from home. Who here wants to earn 6 figures from home? Who here wants to earn 6 figures from anywhere they are right now? Anybody? With that, I want to formally and officially welcome you, Lois Koffi. Thank you so very, very much for coming on tonight.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. And I can't wait to have you on my podcast.
Ooh, sounds going to be good. Going to be good. Oh, my goodness. Jake, my buddy, is on. Jake Ganem. I met him, spent some time with him. We were in Orlando and Miami this past weekend. Became really good friends. I appreciate you for coming on and watching, Jake. We got a lot of great stuff coming ahead. And then Timothy McNeely, such a big fan of the 12-week year. Good. Someone else had heard of it. Good. This is going to be amazing tonight. So pumped. Me too, Timothy. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for engaging. Keep it coming. Ask questions as we go through. So, Lois, Coach Lois, I don't know how you'd like to be addressed.
Just don't call me late for dinner. Anything is fine.
Okay. So, Lois, don't call me late for dinner. Coffee. No, I'm kidding. So I love your bio. It's short, but it's very intriguing. Who here wants to be, who wants to earn 6 figures? It shows that you've done it for your clients. And that just really amps up the curiosity. And I love that it shows, your experience, your accolades, and that you are a person who walks the walk and does it truly. What I like to do is peel back the onion a little bit. And I want to find out what is truly making you so successful. And by that, I like to look inside that beautiful brain of yours and find out what it is that's making you tick. Because in my humble opinion, the mindset is the foundation for everyone's success or lack thereof. And so for you, Lois, when you get up in the morning and you're an entrepreneur, you know that there are struggles each and every day. There are challenges, maybe not struggles, but challenges, things to overcome. What is it for you that when you wake up that you have that burning desire, you're motivated, and you know you're going to get past and through another day and you will succeed? How do you do that? What motivates you?
Man, experience. Experience is the best teacher. I wake up with an attitude of gratitude. This is Thanksgiving month. I got married on a Black Friday in Vegas, kind of a fun little story because Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. And there was a time when I lost everything. I was homeless. I was living not on the street, on floors, futons, couches, all of the places I could find that had a roof over my head, my friends' roofs, of course. And it was at that moment I said, you know what, the only way out of this is an attitude of gratitude and one day at a time and being as much in the present moment as possible with that gratitude. And I'll never forget that experience. I'll never forget that. I wanted to be a millionaire by the time I was 30. And instead I was homeless and had my car repossessed the day before my 30th birthday. And that was very humbling. And it was through that humility and the pain and the trauma. And I know there's a lot of people growing through that, hopefully not just going through it, but growing through it. And I had a lot of people who helped me along the way. And so now it's like 13 years later, because that was during the Great Recession, I really just, that humility and that gratitude, and of course, the pain of that memory, that's what drives me. It's kind of a combination. That's like my recipe, that it's not just one thing. It's a combination of all of those things.
I love how you said that it's a combination of things. I don't think I've ever had anyone do that before on the show, to say that it's not just one thing. They would think of one thing and use it. And I appreciate that you embellished all of it, that you embraced it all and you use it, your life experiences, good and bad, to actually propel you forward. And I think that's powerful, that folks should look at those things that they've overcome, the hardships. They're in the past, but look at that as a victory, right? And you made it through and you're better now. If you're going through one right now, know it will be done. It will be over. This too shall pass. It will be, you will get past it. You'll get through it. You'll come out on the other side victorious. Get yourself aligned with people like Lois, who can help lift you, and other mentors and coaches. You can see, it says right there, Coach Lois. So I think she would help to coach you out of that funk into incredible success. And we're going to get deeper into that here real quick, Lois. I can't wait to learn more about what you do, how you serve others. And I can tell right off the bat, you're one of those people that loves to help people. You just have that tone. And every one of my past guest experts seems to be the same. I love entrepreneurs. I love them. I love them all. I almost said I love you, but I can't because I'm married too, right? I was so close. I was on a roll. I was like, whoa, I better easy there. Easy. So I opened the show talking a little bit about books, and I'm curious. I'm going to guess, but I every single one answers the same way. Would you consider yourself, Lois, to be an avid reader as well?
Well, true story. Yes. And because of becoming a mom and juggling all the things, I became an avid Audible listener and podcast listener. So, how you're juggling all the things, it's easier to listen than it is to read anymore. However, I just love learning. I don't know if you've ever taken the StrengthsFinder test. I took the StrengthsFinder test, and one of my top 5 strengths was learner. So yeah, I love to soak it up and learn, and even more so apply, the knowledge that I learn.
StrengthsFinder's test, is that what you call it?
Yeah, it's through Gallup. If you just Google StrengthsFinder test, it'll you can get like your top 10. It's very common actually for sales teams. It's one of the many, right? Because you've got so many different. You got the colors, you got the disc profile, you got the bank,
okay.
Right? Crack your code. So this is another version of that.
I gotcha. Yeah, I was like, yes, I'm starting to feel like I live under a rock. I hadn't heard of 12-week year, and now this strength.
I'm here dropping nuggets, Brian. I'm just here to drop nuggets for you.
I'm like, did I just warp into another world? All of a sudden, I don't know anything. This is awesome. I like learning new things, but at the same time, I'm like, come on, I haven't heard of that either. Oh, thank you, Stan Chi. He says, great show and inspiring guest. And my good friend, Richard Barrier. There will always be storms and there will always be, cool breezes. I like that. Good. Very well stated there, Richard. Thank you, buddy. And yes, very, very good. And so we're kind of going through, if you guys haven't noticed, mind, body, business. So we've already done a little bit of mindset, and we'll do more mindset. Mindset is so powerful. It's so paramount to all of our lives, personal and business. When it comes to now taking it into the body, when you think about physical fitness and staying nutritionally aligned and everything, banging on all cylinders, if you will, how important is that to you and your business life yourself?
Oh my gosh. Well, you're like my brother from another mother, because my podcast name is Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. And I don't even know if you knew this about me, but I was in the health and fitness industry a combined 20 years. I was an Ironman triathlete and like a salesperson, when I was just rocking and rolling in sales before the recession, I actually, not only did I, take nutrition for granted, I thought I could eat whatever I could. I was burning 3,000 calories, so why not? And then when the recession hit and I lost everything, my health was the most important thing that I lost, and I'll never take it for granted again. So I had to learn how to eat clean. I had to start all over. It took me 5 years to wean myself off of sugar. I kind of joke there's no Sugarholics Anonymous 12-step program, and it was brutal. Like, I was a total sugar and coffee addict. And so after I came out of that, even with an autoimmune disease, I learned so much. It was worth the price of admission, because my first 30 years, ate and drank whatever I wanted. The last, 13 plus years since then, learning lessons, I've been the healthiest I've ever been. And it's all about, what I put into my body. Sleep, oh my gosh, so important. Meditation. I mean, I do so much to take care of this temple, and it really is important. Your body fuels your mind fuels your body. Thoughts are things, and I learned a lot mentally, physically, and spiritually through that process to be where I'm at today. And I do talk about that, with all of my clients. I have that kind of added USP, or unique selling proposition. As a coach, I do holistically care about you. I don't want you just to go out full throttle on the hamster wheel making tons of money, which is great. But then what happens when you lose it all, right? You're spending it all on your sickness or your dis-ease. So yes, that was a long answer to to share with you, but I'm very, very passionate about that, because without your health, you have nothing.
Totally agree. And I think every person who lived to 30 did the same thing you did.
Yeah, but it's all good. Yeah, right.
And I was in fitness as well. So we are like brother and sister, assisted by another mister. See, there we go. And for like 7 years, I had a fitness business. And that is a common crutch that people who are fit physically go to is, while I'm working out, I'm burning calories so I can eat whatever the heck I want. I can drink whatever I want too. And that was something I really had to hammer home with my clients and myself, to be honest. It's easy to just say, gosh, I feel so fantastic. I can have some beer, I can have something else, and that's really not good for me, and do it in excess, something that's more than we know that we should be. And I think you're human. You just defined the human being there, Lois. And that's good, because every human can use your experience and learn from it and know that, at least, misery loves company, that old little word, but now so does victory. Victory loves company. And you can show them how to rise above and be victorious, and just bring them along, push them up that hill and get them to the crest and over. And it's phenomenal. So there's a beautiful reason that you went through all this, I think. And that is so that you could help so many people in so many ways. People think business is just those things I talked about with business, sales, marketing, team building, systematizing, leadership, all those things. It is, and it is so much more. It is everything we are now talking about. It is taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and it's so vitally important. And these were not things that are traditionally taught if you're getting an MBA in college. They don't mindset. What the heck's that? That's for a bunch of witch doctor woo-woo things. And it's the thing I learned. The most important is your mindset. If you're focusing on, pardon my word, if you're focusing on crap, guess what you're going to get more of? You guessed it. That big C word, more crap. If you're focusing on things you want, that you're looking forward to, like building your business, having a team, a wonderful significant other, and you continue to focus on those things that are positive, guess what? Eventually that will come too. And so you get what you focus on. That's the whole point there. And we have more people commenting. I love these wonderful people. Yes. Richard Barrier, the 80s. Oh my Lord. Yes. That was my time too, my brother. Yep. Yeah. Those were the times. Wow.
I wouldn't mind going back and reliving the 80s. Just like if I could do it for a day, a week. Oh my gosh. That would be amazing.
Those were good times. I graduated high school in 82. My goodness, that was a while ago. Fantastic. So you are a coach and you coach business people. What I'd like to do is take a pause here for me and say, Lois, what exactly is it? Can you tell the audience, what is it exactly that you do? Who is your ideal client? And what do you do for your clients?
That's awesome. Well, it's ever evolving because of the pandemic of 2020. I will tell you, a year ago, I had one plan. Then 6 months ago, that plan shifted very quickly because my passion, with the 12-week year is a lot about productivity, peak performance, work-life balance. Yes, I have a very strong opinion. I do believe in work-life balance. So that's part of what I was focused on. And my avatar were salespeople, sales teams, and entrepreneurs. However, what happened was when the pandemic hit, I realized, oh my gosh, all of my systems were offline. I had sales presentations, I had all these workshops that I was doing in person. I was closing deals, at the dinner table or meeting face to face, doing speaking events, all of those kinds of things. And so I didn't have an email list. I didn't have a podcast. I didn't really care about my YouTube channel. It was there, but it was pretty, cobwebby and dusty. And I didn't have a lot of the things that I pivoted really quickly and I have now. So kind of incidentally, my new niche since then is actually helping people with email list building. So that's part of my, spoiler alert, my giveaway today is really my signature right now. Because I was having conversations with salespeople and entrepreneurs, and more of them were struggling. Their sales were down. They couldn't meet face to face. They couldn't meet people the old fashioned way. Now we call it old fashioned, but going to networking events. And I actually had my own Fortune in the Follow Up program. I have my signature Koffi sales formula. And again, all of that was focused on increasing sales results in less time, creating work-life balance. All of those were part of my 4 Koffi sales formula steps. But I actually added a 5th step to the Koffi sales formula, and that was building an email list that you build it once and you can monetize it forever. And I actually, totally just transparent, I may only be 6 to 12 months ahead of a lot of you out there listening who are struggling with this new normal of how do I do this digital marketing thing? How do I create value? How do I do lead magnets? How do I get people into my funnel? How do I do all of that? Right? I knew nothing. I had a 0 email list. I had 0 email campaign 6 months ago. But over time, with pivoting and recognizing I needed to embrace this new normal very, very quickly, I translated and converted all of my offline coaching and tools, everything quickly to online, building an audience, building your tribe, building landing pages, getting value out there into the digital world and the marketplace. And then as I was building my list, I built it from 0 to 2,000 from April to July, just doing what I do. And I started talking to people that were saying, gosh, Lois, I'm struggling with this. And they said, you know what, a fellow coach, he was like, I wanted to go and speak at this virtual summit, but they wouldn't let me. They rejected me because I didn't have an email list of 1,000. And if you study most of the greats, I love Harvey Mackay and all of those guys from my past world that I grew up with, the Jim Rohns of the world, Zig Ziglar and all of those guys, Brian Tracy, even posthumously, they're still emailing. And they say that if you have a list of 1,000 people, you can actually build $1 million business with just a list of 1,000. And I said, I saw a need. And I was like, man, if it's easy for me to build a list, what would happen if I could create a program and help just test it out? So I did a beta test just recently, like just in September. And I had over 100 people sign up for my list build course. And I was like, wow. And they got so much value. I then turned into a 30-day inner circle coaching program. And I kept just rinsing and repeating. So keep in mind, again, 6 months ago, I didn't have an email list. I didn't have landing pages. I didn't have lead magnets. I didn't have all of the things that I do now. And I went from making $0 through what I call the new normal of online digital marketing and building your tribe and building an audience and attraction marketing through podcasting and all of the things, to making $14,000 last month in income. And I don't say that to brag or impress you. It's just to impress upon you the fact that the tools that I created that were offline, that worked really, really well for me for the last 20 years, because I've sold real estate, I've sold fitness, I've sold nutritional products. I was in direct sales and network marketing for 9 years. So some would say I can sell ice to Eskimos, but really, I just took those same basic principles and just duplicated it online. And I found a need and I filled it.
Wow. That's phenomenal. And we were talking right before the show, and that is most business owners don't know how to build a list. They don't. And some don't even try to anymore. They completely rely on social media, on paid ads. And so this is very refreshing. Because it is still so vitally important to have this as an integral part of your marketing tool belt, is to build a list. Because look, there are ways now. There are incredible ways to connect with people. And a lot of people say emails don't make it anymore. They never get delivered. And that is happening. That is true, that fewer and fewer emails are making it to the end result. But there are ways to remind them that an email was just sent to them. And that's through a hack that I've developed, where I use a system where I can mix email and text messages, where I send, hey, I just sent you an email. It's very important. Be sure to check your inbox. If not there, look at your spam and your promotion folder. And that's it. And that way now I get deliverability. So email is still probably the number one in email list, the number one way. And look what you just went through, Lois. You went through all of the things that were offline, and now we hit this pandemic. And now that you have online, you have everything you need. Just about no matter what happens from this point forward. You have developed the skill sets of belly to belly, kneecap to kneecap. You have developed the skills of speaking from stage. You've developed the skills of sales one-on-one. And now you are developing and have developed the electronic skills, those that will help you with systems for your business. And I'm saying this to everyone. Look what she has done. And here's what I love to say to everyone. How do I become successful? How do I attain success? And all I say is find somebody who has done it and model them. That's it. It's simple. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to come up with your own idea and your own mousetrap. It's been done before, over and over and over. There are so many recipes for success. You're looking at one right here next to me, by the name of Coach Lois Koffi. And if you were to just model what she's doing, so stay with us. She has this incredible, spectacular gift. I found out about it before the show, and I've already requested mine. So I can't wait to see that and dive in. Because I'm always looking for different ways to market, Lois. And that's why I developed a program called Carpet Bomb Marketing, which means saturate every square inch that you can possibly can. And email list building is definitely one of those areas. So maybe we can talk about integrating your course into Carpet Bomb Marketing, maybe vice versa, and form a JV and see. You don't have to say yes or no right here in front of everybody. I don't want to put you on the spot, but that's what you do. When you have people that are in alignment with what you're doing, you have those chats and say it might fit, it might not, but either way, we can benefit from each other. And I can't wait for what things are ahead for you and I together as we keep, contact after the show's long over. Oh my goodness, here we go. Yes, Richard Berry, you're welcome. He said, combining email and text marketing, brilliant. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, it was a secret. I actually was hesitant to give it out, but I thought it's time. We got to let people know. And Lois was nodding emphatically, so I think she already knows about that technique and uses it.
It's coming. I'm adding it this month or next month for sure. Because and I'm not even a huge fan of texting, but I have already seen, if they don't open the email, and obviously we get tons of email. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that's why I was the most negative person, guys, just even 8 months ago about email campaigns and thinking, oh, that's spam. But you know what, Brian? You know where that stinking thinking came from? I believed, this was the lie that I told myself, that I didn't have enough value to give in an email campaign. I didn't believe they would open my emails. What did I have to say? Why would they open my emails? That was something and totally autobiographically speaking, I didn't do this by myself. I we talked about earlier, coaching is so invaluable. I have not one, but two coaches because I was terrified to launch a podcast. I was terrified to start an email campaign. Again, I had to work through a lot of limiting beliefs and shift my consciousness. And oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I did, because I do have value. You have value to give to the world. And you want to create raving fans who fall in love with your emails and they feel loved, in return.
I love how you brought up a couple of words. Well, actually a few. Terrified, which comes from a state of fear, the emotional state of fear, and limiting beliefs. I'm curious, what did you do yourself, Lois, to get over that hump in both cases? What specifically did you do? Some kind of I don't want to give it away because I want to see what you say. What it was? Oh, I think I know what it is. Jenny.
Ah!
Yes.
Jenny was a part of it. Yes, she was actually okay. I had 3 coaches. I mean, that was how bad it was for me, guys. Like I was so comfortable in making phone calls, right? I didn't have call reluctance. I was one of the few. I know. Wow. It's hard to believe, right? I would on the phone. I could drive from Phoenix to San Diego. This is back before hands free, and this would be me, Ryan, for all 5.5 hours. I'm like, who can I call? Who can I talk to? And so I missed the call reluctance, whatever. But anyway, email reluctance for whatever reason. So yes, Jenny helped me tremendously, and both of my coaches, and recognizing, wait a minute, I do have value. And, I can't say that it was, again, any one thing. It took a lot though. I listened to podcasts, Think and Grow Rich, all of the things, and just recognizing, I'm a mom. We have, forced homeschool. We have all of those things. I didn't have time to make 20 to 30 phone calls a day anymore. And then I realized, wait a minute, I'm going to travel the world and have a laptop lifestyle. I'm not going to be making phone calls in the middle of night when I'm living in Africa to US. I had to automate. I had to get with the program. So part of it was definitely overcoming those limiting beliefs, but then it was getting a bigger dream and recognizing and seeing the silver lining in this opportunity called, pandemic 2020. So it was a lot of shifting, a lot of stuff.
I just, my goodness, this is so phenomenal that all this happened for you, not to you, and that you have shifted. So here's one of the key aspects of a successful entrepreneur, and that is they take what others would perceive as a death blow to their business when COVID and the pandemic hit, and now her entire model had to change. She had to completely build online systems, and instead of just crumbling and giving in, she just said, I'm just going to pull up my big girl pants and get busy and take care of this. And she did. And it's because of that attitude that she is a successful woman. And I look at everyone out there who's listening and watching. What are you thinking right now? What is going on in your brain that is keeping you from achieving incredible success? Because Lois has figured it out. She has the mindset locked down. That is why she overcame. And, I was thinking about, pardon?
Can I share one more thing that may be helpful? Keep in mind, this is also something very personal, but I'm always wanting to share because I know there's a lot of people who are going through a lot of loss and grief this year. Loss of job, loss of sales, loss of home, all of that stuff, that I've been through before. But the other 2 things that really hit home for me that was like, I gotta live bigger, much bigger, much faster, was my brother died unexpectedly in February. My mom died right after him 2 months later, unexpected, right? And so it was definitely a huge, huge, painful experience. And it was also like a wake-up call, like, your days are numbered. Any day could be your last day. So the other driving force was, how can I leave a legacy behind? So starting a podcast, my podcast will live past me, right? My YouTube channel will live past me. My emails that speak, inspiration, hope, encouragement, and all sorts of faith, belief, and desire to others can pour into people's lives past me. I wanted to see it almost as a way to leave a legacy. Like Jim Rohn still speaks to us, right? And he's been gone how long, Zig Ziglar? So that's also what was driving me and helping me realize, life is short, and I want to be able to impact people long after I'm gone.
I absolutely love that, every bit of it. My goodness. And that goes down the path of, when things are going tough, what is your why? Why are you doing this? And is it impactful enough? Is it powerful enough to keep you going? Because times do get tough. And you just heard how Lois has gone through some, sometimes it seems to happen all at once and just keeps piling on, exponentially growing. And you're like, when is this going to stop? My gosh, my business, I now have no electronic systems to deal with my business. My brother is passing away. My mom too. My goodness. I mean, most people honestly would crumble when it comes to, that's it. It's a sign. It must be a sign. I'm not supposed to be doing this, right? And go into that hole. And kudos to you, Lois, because you are going to be and are an inspiration to many. Because I'll guarantee you there are people going through hardships at this very moment. And this is a ray of hope. And I want everyone to realize and recognize you have hope. There's a lot of hope. If she can get through it, and look, it's not going to be easy. Hardships are called hardships for a reason. And it's not always easy to get through them. But once you do and you look back, you'll go, you know what? That actually happened for me. And I learned a lot from it. My skin is thicker. If I can get through that, I can get through anything. Bring on the next one. Let's go.
Yeah, it helps with empathy in sales. And now I understand so much more. If someone says, hey, my family member died of COVID, I just can't talk to you right now. Or, I'm losing my house, or, all that kind of thing. I have so much more empathy because I can feel their pain. I had a coaching client who he was going to cancel his coach call with me because his mom just died. But he kept his coach call with me because he knew that I understood his pain,
Yeah. That's amazing. And that what does that do? That puts so much, look at the trust he has put into you, because you have treated him with that empathy. You have treated him as a human being. Look, businesses, we need to make money, don't we? But that's not what it's all about. It's, the end result is, we need to make more money. So people like Lois. So here's the thing. I hope my wish is that Lois is just absolutely showered with wealth, immense wealth. Why? Because I know that with this immense wealth, she will just scale and impact more people positively. We want to spread this. And so a lot of people will look and say, well, you're already successful and rich. Why would you want more money? That's why. To serve more people. And, a lot of the media and other reasons, well, I don't want to go down that path, but, paint the wealthy in such a negative picture. Yeah, there are bad apples, of course. I'll tell you something right now. On this show, I've done over 120 of them. I have not met one that fit that bad apple picture frame. They're all very similar in nature, but Lois, you could see the passion on her. The emotions hitting her at this moment, having this gentleman entrust her so much that he still went through with the call because he knew that he would have an empathetic ear and somebody who he could count on to help him through a tough situation. That's what sets the successful apart, in my humble opinion, the truly successful. There's so many different definitions of that word. So yeah, I just wanted to give everyone a good understanding and picture of what success is and a good way to go about it. I'm pointing at her right now, Lois Koffi. Follow her, model her, and let's make the world a better place together.
Brent, you make me think of a question, because this is intriguing to me. And I just had a conversation with someone today who actually said this to me, because I was sharing my goals and I was excited, hey, go to multiple six figures next year with my coaching business. And they were like, gosh, Lois, you're all about the money. I was like, wow. Wow.
It's good feedback. Yeah. And that's all it is.
So how would you meet someone like that? You talk about mind, body, business, and Think and Grow Rich is not just about the money, right? It's about abundance. and that abundance philosophy, to go out there and serve more people and make more money to give more money away. That's the way I consider it. But what do you say when someone says that?
Well, in that case, in my humble opinion, it's just because they don't know you. They don't know your intention when you say things like that. I would say the same thing I just said. It's important to make money so that I can serve more people like you. I want to scale this and help a lot of people. It's not just about material things. I mean, I'm 56 now. Material things don't mean as much as they did when I was 20. I wanted that Ferrari and the Lamborghini. Now I could care less as long as I get A to B and I'm comfortable. My back doesn't hurt when I get out. And it's so that all I would say is, well, you just don't understand me yet. And that's okay. Look, I would say that's on me, that you don't know me well enough to understand what I mean behind that statement. And we'll work on that if you're willing to give me the time to do that. But yeah, what can you say? They have a belief system, and I would just say, that's it. That's not my intent, just to make money for making money's sake. That isn't what drives me. But money is necessary for me to grow the business so I can help and serve more people like you. That's basically what I would say.
Yeah, I just think there's a lot of people out there that limit themselves to the potential of what's possible. Yeah.
And Richard's saying money as a measurement. Yeah, maybe. But a measurement of what, right? Measurement with respect to what? What's the, how did you frame that? Go ahead and throw another comment up there, Richard, if you just heard that. There's always a delay on these things, so it takes a while to get a response back. But definitely, look, I can tell already. I don't know you like for a long period of time, but I know you, right? Does that make sense? And if you were to say something like that, I'd say, heck yes. I would have said it something else, but clean. I'd say, heck yes, let's do it, because I'm the same way as you. I want to help and serve more, and I want to grow this business. I want to build a team. I want to employ people and help them. There's so many things that go with that just the money by itself can help to bring in and improve and scale a business. So, and yeah, we all like nice things too. I mean, some of that's going to go towards whatever we like. Maybe more vacations, stepping away from the business, hiring a manager to work in the business so we can work on it. Things like that, scaling and getting bigger and bigger. And then we can go on and start another business that will serve more people in a different way. So, like I said, I want wealth to shower down upon people like you, Lois, for those reasons. Because, I mean, you're just getting passionate on this very show, showing the human side. That's what drives you. Money's important, but that's not what's driving you when the rubber meets the road. Yes, that's you were on the right path. Okay, good. Thanks, Richard. Fantastic. He's a good friend of mine. He was one of those people I met, 7, 8 years ago, maybe 9. I'm horrible with time and dates. And it just felt like I knew this guy forever. Like, I mean, instantly, like brothers, like we were separated at birth somewhere, somehow. It was just crazy. We thought the same thing, said the same thing. I was like instantly. And so we developed an instant friendship and still going strong. Wow. I'm just looking at the time. This is always a good sign, Lois, when it's already almost over and I didn't even realize it. That means I've been having a good time. I don't know about the audience. It looks like they have been. And I don't know about you, but I'm having a great time with this one. And it's going by way too quick.
You'll just have to have me come back again.
Yes.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, definitely. There's so much more to talk about from each individual. Literally, it would be like having a book read to them of your biography and then everything you've done to be successful. And, that would take more than an hour-long show to go through something like that. And that's the only downside to these shows is some people say, Brian, you're doing an hour show. That's too long. I said, man, it's not long enough, to be honest. I mean, in my humble opinion, having done so many of them, I would rather go another at least half hour to an hour more on each show. But people's attention spans, I get it. And that's okay. We're getting plenty of great, look, the shows I've done, Lois, I could so easy charge for them. There's so much value in them. And I leave them up free of charge for people to watch past shows. Les Brown's up there. Everybody's up there. They can go and watch. We talked about fear, so I want to hit that real quick, and then we're going to go into the gift-giving season of the show. If you were to isolate and think about just one, what would you say today, in where you are now with your business and in your life, what would you call your greatest fear right now, if you were to choose just one?
I think the only one that really the first thing that came to mind, so I'm just going to go with it, is the fear of success. What will that mean for me? What will that change? Will I change? What will that, do for my family? I'm a big fan of work-life balance. So even working with my coach right now, I had my biggest month last month, and he and I were like, he's like, okay, Lois, let's just pull back a little bit. Let's just make sure you're still on the right, kind of like a little course correction, right? And just making sure that it doesn't change me, and that my family and I still have that balance that I said earlier, that I'm an eternal optimist and believing in that and sharing that with other people and pouring into other people's lives, that, don't lose sight of yourself. And yet there's that little bit of fear of like, what will that make of me? Will it change me?
Oh, wow. That's powerful, because, oh goodness. That was deep. I'm actually writing notes.
Yeah. I mean, I won't be ashamed to admit it. I was actually I connected with my therapist today, and I said, I need your help. I want to always be Lois. I always want to be me, and
So
I
the
want to.
beautiful thing, and so I was kind of going down that road. Jenny, how do you pronounce her last name again? Harkle Road?
Harkle Road. Yeah.
She's an amazing woman. We had a lot of similarities. I'm NLP certified. She's heavy into mindset and tools and techniques. I watched her demonstrate on stage. She's amazing. And all of these things that we're talking about, limiting beliefs, fear, and the fact that you said the fear of success, and I had a different IR, internal representation of what I thought you were going to say, but what will that make of me? Some others are going, yeah, but if I'm successful, I don't know how I'm going to handle all the growth and the wealth and the scaling, the material things. But you were thinking, I don't want it to change me. But one of the great things we found was that money only magnifies who you already are. And so you're just going to be, so you're Lois 1.0 right now. And when you get wealth times 100 or 200 or 1,000 or 10,000, you're going to be Lois 2.0 in a great way. So who you are today, you're going to be magnified. That's another reason I hope wealth showers upon you, so that we can have that magnificent version 2.0, 3.0 and above of you. And I would, for you, and me looking at you, I'd say, don't you dare worry about that. It ain't going to be a problem with you.
Thanks,
because you're aware of it, that tells everybody right there. It's not going to happen. And, there might be little blips on the radar where a little moment of ego may set in. You know what? Own it. Be happy with it. Give yourself a pat on the back, and then you'll know it, and then you'll move on. Wow, somebody just typed in a whole bunch of gibberish. That's funny. And then, Richard was saying scary. The way we connected was immediate. Yes, it sure was. Want to become famous? Oh, someone's spamming. That's what they're doing. Wonderful. I don't even know where that's coming from. All right. So, goodness sakes, I can't believe it. I don't like this. We get down to the end. We have a couple of wonderful things to give away, and we have a little bit of time left. So there's always one question I like to leave in parting, Lois, with each and every wonderful, successful entrepreneur such as yourself. And it's a very powerful and deep question, and it can be actually a little personal as well. And so it's just a great, phenomenal way to end every show. And I'm so intrigued by all the responses that I've gotten in the 120 plus shows before thus far. And I can't wait to spring it upon you. But before I do, I promised everyone that stuck with us live that they could enter to win a 5-night stay at a 5-star resort of their choosing. All compliments of, you guessed it, the Big Insider Secrets up there on the upper right of your screen. And here is how you enter. In just a moment, what I'm going to do is tell you that both Lois and I give you permission to take your gaze away from the screen ever so briefly to get out your smartphone. And what you want to do is bring up your text messaging app and do that right now, because that is how you're going to enter to win. If you're watching the screen, simply go to that messaging app, and where you would actually type in the name of the person you're going to text, rather than do that, type in this phone number, and that is 314-665-1767. As Lois enters the very information I hope you are entering. That is 314-665-1767. I've literally have guests win in the past. It's completely random. Everyone is eligible. And then where you type in the message, that would be that bottom part normally, where you would put in the emojis, those kind of things. No emojis, just type in these 2 words that are separated by a hyphen or a dash. First word is peak, P-E-A-K, and then you have the dash, and then vacation. So peak dash vacation. Tap the send button, and don't put your phone away, because you will be given additional instructions to get you completely entered into this giveaway. You'll be asked for your email address, and I believe that's it. I don't remember there's anything else. Your phone number will be already part of it. So just do that right away. And then we're going to ask our wonderful Lois Koffi to share this amazing, incredible gift that she's about to share with you. I am literally excited about this, Lois. And so what I'm going to do is pull it up on the screen and let you take it away. Here we go.
Yay! And your timing is perfect, because again, it's my anniversary month. It's I'm not quite Oprah yet. I'm my own version of Oprah, but I love giving away gifts. And I have this course. It's you talked about, gosh, I wish we had more time. Well, here's the good news, guys. I have a 3-hour course on list building, and it goes through the mindset. I talk about how I overcame my fears. What did I, come up with for my first email campaign, my welcome campaign, going through the whole inner workings of that. I talk about, building an audience, building a tribe, and giving value, and how to do that with excellence, and how to generate leads, mostly through Facebook and LinkedIn. So if you're on Facebook and LinkedIn and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get Facebook shut me down. That happened. I had a client who was shut down completely off Facebook. They lost all of their contacts, and they didn't have a CRM. They didn't have an email campaign list. And now they do. People really, really, I believe, have got to have an email list looking forward into the future. So this is a $1,500 value, 3-hour course, plus some bonus episodes. I'm actually going to probably add some more stuff here in the next week, just because I'm always learning. I'm always growing. And like I shared autobiographically, I think in a lot of ways, I'm only 6 to 12 months ahead of a lot of you who don't have a list, right? Because remember, I didn't have that. So I'm just a few miles ahead of you, and you can catch up with me, get your running shoes on, take this course, and boom, you could be monetizing your email list as early as next week. So go to that website and check it out.
So that website, for those of you that might be listening on podcasts audibly, is www.listbuildwithlois.com. www.listbuildwithlois.com. And don't forget the www on this one to make sure it comes up fine. And it's up on the screen for those of you that are watching us live, or perhaps later during the recording. And also shoot it out there in the comments to all the folks watching on social media. I literally did this before the show started. I went in, and so you just click on this, sign up here at no cost, and fill out this quick form. And the beautiful thing is, there it is, phone number that will help to ensure that you get that email, because she'll be able to in the future text you and let you know, hey, I sent you an email. Be sure to pick it up. If you didn't see that, check your spam and promotion folder, that new folder that Gmail so wonderfully put out there. That's a spam junior, is my opinion. But yeah, definitely go there, fill out your information. Here's everything you need is here. Video. You just heard it from her. Here's my thing. I didn't even read this stuff. When we were talking a half hour before the show, and she was telling me basically what she just told you, I was already typing my information in. I didn't need to read all of this. It's knowing what kind of person she is, knowing the value she brings, the quality, the empathy, the caring she has. It's a no-brainer. I don't need to read a word on a website. Just give me where do I opt in? I don't care. And you should do the same.
A couple more things. There is a limited time. So the deadline is really by November 21st. I want to just clarify that. But if you guys listen to this later, past that date, reach out to me, contact me, and I'm happy for anybody that tuned into this show and authentically saw value, you can absolutely reach out to me, and I'll still gift it to you past that date.
And you know what? Be respectful of those of you that do reach out to her. And you know what? By then, Lois, I would honestly put it back to the $1,500 or more price point, and maybe just give them a coupon code and give them a percentage off as time goes on if they mention this show name. But don't wait 6 months and go back to, hey, you said on a show that I watched that was recorded 6 months ago that I can get it for free, so give it to me for. No, it's not going to work that way. So just be respectful. And literally, if she does have a price tag next to it, it's going to be worth whatever price she puts on it. Just pay it. It's that simple.
Thanks for looking out for me.
I mean, how many times I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on courses, on both in-person courses and online courses. And I do have some regrets, but very few, because if you vet the people before you go through it, then your odds of success are much greater and being disappointed are much less. So, and I found a mentor personally, and he kept having these additional courses to go to. Originally, he had a bunch of them, and I went through them all. And then he added more as he went on. And I just said, take my money already. I can't wait, because the results is what it's all about. Look at the results. What is that worth to you? So like you just said, you got 1,000 in how many days? It was just 10 days or something after. In only 3 days, you went from 100 to 1,000 in 3 days. And think about that. If you were able to make $1 off of every one of those, and she charged you $1,000 for her course, you just made your money back. If you made $2, well, her course is probably going to be $1,500. So you'll make $2 off everybody on average. And that's all you have to do. Provide an ebook with a list. You can easily raise money to now invest into courses that will expand your business even farther as you go down. My goodness, I just got to stop talking. I get excited and passionate about this stuff. And there it is on the screen one more time, www.listbuildwithlois.com. Be sure to go there. And then after you've done that, go take a visit to her actual main website. It's Lois Koffi, KOFFI.com. And be sure to contact and connect with her there. What is the best way for people to connect with you, Lois, since I just brought that up?
Yes. If they want to email me, lois@loiskoffi.com. It's right, same thing. Otherwise, if they go to my website, they can sign up on my podcast page to be welcome in and receive my episodes and reminders every week.
All right. Let's see. Oh, I thought you were seeing it, and I'm putting it up on the screen thinking, oh, you're going to tell me where that is, but I didn't have it up on the screen. So where would that be on the site?
Yep. So you see at the top there, it says podcast. Click on that.
Oh, right on the main one. Gotcha.
Yep.
There you go.
And then voila. It's going to come there as well. So they're going to get the other opportunity to also sign up. It's the same thing. It redirects to listbuildwithlois.com. But if they scroll down, if you get rid of that, and then you can opt in right there to receive my email campaign. Woohoo!
Oh, we got to go another hour, because I'm glad you brought that up. And seriously, I'm really glad.
It would be a bad example if you didn't receive my welcome email campaign, which is what you're also going to learn about in my course. So in fact, you'll have your first 5 emails done if you take that course. So it's pretty awesome.
So take the course, opt into her email, her opt-ins, and watch and learn what she does. Don't just ingest it as a student or as somebody that's looking to absorb the information, but do it as a student where you learn, okay, how did she do that? Okay, what was the next email? But I'm sure all of it's in her course. Do this with other people as well, like Frank Kern. What are the subject lines they use? Look at the best of the best as well that have, made this guy, I don't know how much his email list is. It's in the millions. And he understands how to do all this at a very deep level as well as you do. And so always be looking and from a business owner's viewpoint and saying, all right, let me reverse engineer this, how they do that. With her, you don't have to. She gives you the course. She's going to show you step by step. Take advantage of that before November 21st of 2020, just to be clear, where we're sitting here, because this podcast will be out there later. So appreciate that. So, we have this other question I wanted to ask you. Almost forgot.
I've been waiting.
I'm not forgetting. No way am I going to forget that. So here's the thing, Lois, with this question. It is kind of deep. It is thought-provoking, and it can be personal. But here's the thing. There is no such thing as a wrong answer. In fact, the opposite is true. The only correct answer is your answer. That's the only thing that makes it personal. It's not like a deep personal type thing. And some that I've asked this question of, they take a moment to ponder. Others get it immediately. Some may take a minute or two. Whatever it is perfect for you because it's your answer. So now that you're completely relaxed and you're watching the watch going back and forth, that's right. Are you ready for the big question? All right, here we go. Lois Koffi, how do you define success?
It's so funny that's the question because I taught a college course at the MBA level called Transformational Success. You know, for me, success can evolve with time. And the older that as I've gotten older, for me, success is really when I put my head on the pillow at night. You know, do I feel good about that day? And did I do my best with, you know, free from judgment and just being really authentic to myself? And I think being able to reflect on that day, it's ever changing and evolving, but that's my answer. You know, nothing super exciting, nothing sexy, but I think it's transformational and it can evolve over time.
Well, I beg to differ. It was both exciting and sexy because it's different than any other guest. This is what I found. This is the amazing part, Lois, is that no two of my guests yet have answered the same way. That is what I love about this question. It is personal. Like you just proved it. But I love it. You're right. You're so right that success does evolve over time. When you and I were 20, what does success mean to us then? Is it the same as it is now? I'll guarantee you we're both shaking our head emphatically. Yeah. And it does change. And you said it even better where it changes daily, nightly, when you put your head on the pillow. And really that is it. I mean, we're growing every day. We're aging every day. Our bodies are changing. Our minds are changing. Our environment's changing. Everything's changing. So is our definition of success, isn't it? That was deep. I love it. And if you don't mind, Lois, I'm going to be compiling a book of all of these answers into a book called How Do You Define Success? And I'll be asking your permission when that time comes. But I hope you're okay with getting more exposure by having your name in that book as well.
That'd be amazing because one of the courses I sell is actually it's the Transformational Success course that I taught at the MBA level at Concordia University. So it fits right in alignment with that too. So we could JV on that if you want.
All over that. All over it. I'll have my people call your people. That would be me calling you and you calling me.
Awesome.
I know you have an affinity for the phone, so I won't send somebody else to talk to you. So Lois, oh my goodness, you have been such a gem, phenomenal. I appreciate you. Just incredible value, incredible nuggets. I mean, I'm running the show, directing, producing, starring, all that good stuff, and I'm taking notes too. And so I never ask folks to do what I wouldn't do myself. And I love what I get to do because of people like you. So thank you so very, very much for coming on the show this evening.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
All right. That is it for this episode of the Mind Body Business Show. Until next week, I'm your host, Brian Kelly. We'll see you then. Be blessed and take care, everyone. Good night. Thank you for tuning in to the Mind Body Business Show podcast at www.themindbodybusinessshow.com.